Hey, what's up, Rico gang? Today, the topic I got in mind today, the topic I have on the top of my brain is eBay selling, right? And what I mean by that is eBay selling is honestly something that I've had. So this was my strategy, right? I was gonna take X amount of money, and then I'm gonna do what I know how to do best, right? Which is find items in stores, flip them on eBay or locally, and then just do it like that. However, it's already hard enough to get products. So what I mean by that is I started focusing on limited stuff, right? Because I don't really want to sit on things. So boom, I ended up getting the La Barbies when they dropped. I ended up taking a chance on the Kate Spade stuff. And whenever you take breaks from things, especially like flipping, reselling, you almost come back as a newcomer, as a beginner. And what I mean by that is the way the game changes, the way that everything changes in those times, bro. Like the way you flip stuff, what was hot, all of that kind of changes. So, Pokemon cards, things of that nature have been really hard to come by. But you know me, I know how to bot. I know how to use robots. And I must say, in this time, I've become a way better botter. Like there's been things that drop that I almost can guarantee that I can get. Thanks to my people at Polar Chefs, my boy Botter Boy Nova. He's been kind of rocking with me lately, putting a bug in my ear. And so there's that part of it, right? And I'm going to talk about here in the next couple of days, I'm going to talk about botting and if I feel like botting is worth it. Or long story short, you acquire these products and now it's time to sell them on eBay, right? And you make your listing, you take the pictures, you do all of that good stuff, man. And what I found, a lot of people, not just me, a lot of people that are beginners are having problems selling things on eBay. And what I mean by that is it takes a while now to sell something. You might have it fairly priced. It takes a while to sell something on eBay. Now, the experts are going to tell you one or two things. They're going to tell you, well, how competitive is your pricing? That's an important factor. They're going to ask you when you post it. A good example of this is when the Trader Joe tote bags hit for before Easter, right? The people who won and got profit on those are the people who posted those like minutes within having them in hand. They capitalize on an early fear of missing out that people have. So that then makes you think, okay, boom. So now you're rushing to lower your prices because you want to price competitively. You want to sell, right? However, you still want to make profit. Now, an item like the Trader Joe tote bags probably isn't the best example to use in this case because they were only I think $3 each either way. So you're gonna profit on those even if you sell them for $5, right? You're gonna profit even if it's just $2. So that brings me to the point of this video, right? Why it's so hard to sell. The reason why it's so hard to sell is because there is now, and maybe people like me are to blame because I'm always give myself the credit, bro. I'm back in 2020. I'm one of the first people who got online, not the first, not the best. I'm just one of the first people to get online and kind of encourage people to flip things, right? And not just flip things, but giving the sauce on how to flip stuff. And now there's a group of people who might have more capital than the average person, even me or you, who's once again gonna be a beginner, right? Like I'm not gonna sit here and flex like I'm rich or even close to it. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's not that type of party. So this what happens. And I seen it with the La Barbies firsthand. You got the La Barbie, right? The LeBron James Barbie, Mattel official collaboration where LeBron is a Ken doll. Now, we know who LeBron James is. LeBron James is probably the closest thing brand-wise. I'm not talking on the court. I'm just talking about brand-wise to Michael Jordan that we've ever seen as a basketball player. So you would assume that, okay, they drop a collab, it's gonna be somewhat limited, and because it's gonna be somewhat limited, if you can get your hands on these, then you, sir or ma'am, are gonna make some profit, right? Because that type of product you would just think. Even I recall the night before talking to some pretty reputable sellers, bro, reputable flippers, right? And them all almost guaranteeing that, hey, yeah, La Barbie's gonna go crazy. La Barbie is gonna go crazy. So it retailed for $75. You're paying $81 after tax. And then what ends up happening is it actually drops, and then you see that the market, I think we wanted the market to be closer to 180, where you make $100 a pop with eBay fees. Of course, you're not making that, but still, we wanted market value to be around 180, $200. Market value, even on the first day, even with FOMO, fear of missing out, that's the word I'm looking for. Even with FOMO, we still only, I think the most that I seen them consistently selling for was 125. Now I seen a couple 160, 150, but that's not consistently. Consistently, the first after hours, within the first hour, or maybe I'd go from the first hour all the way maybe to the first half of a day. So 12 hours of a product dropping, that's gonna be when you can profit the most. That's when the value of it the most is gonna balloon, unless it's something that's super limited. I'm just talking maybe general stuff here. After that window closed, the race back down to 100 started quick. Now, I'm gonna go ahead and put this in my computer just so I can be telling y'all the God honest truth. Let's go to eBay calculator, because I'm showing you what that race to the bottom can be, because you're probably thinking like, Rico, bro, if you bought something for $75 and you can sell it for 100, that's $25 a pop. That's honestly, that is decent profit if you can get that and do that several times. But let's say your sold price is 100, shipping charge, let's say you charging for shipping, right? Because if you do free shipping, that's even more coming out of your pocket. Let's say you charging $8 for shipping. The item costs you $81, because MSRP is $75, but plus tax $81. Shipping costs, it costs you $8, so you're breaking even there. Sales tax is 8.25 where I'm from. Boom. So for a $100 item, eBay fees are $16.30, right? So it's really $15.90 plus the 40-cent transaction fee. So that's already eaten. Let's just say you got it for $75. You didn't pay no tax. That's already eaten $16 into your $25 profit, right? So now you have $9, about let's just say you have $10 left, right? To make it even in round numbers. You got $10 left, but then you got you got tax, everything like that, to where you're gonna only bring home, out of that 100, you're gonna bring home $85. So out of the 75 you spent, if you didn't pay tax on it when you purchased it, you didn't bring home, y'all don't even think you brought home a full $10. But you see what's going on. Well, let me tell you who that does benefit, right? We got something in the game called whales now, right? And I think maybe they might be in every game, bro, honestly. So it makes it just to where it's harder. And this is why beginners aren't making eBay sales, because you've got whales. And what these whales are doing is, hey, I've got $10,000 to invest into the LaBarbie, okay? So if you got $10,000 to invest into the LaBarbie, let's get our calculator out. And you got $75, or no, you got $10,000 for the LaBarbies. All right, divide that. We're gonna divide it. We're gonna do this plus tax this time. You divide that by 81. You've got, let's just round it to 123 LaBarbies, right? And you gotta move these fast. You don't care about the market no more, because contrary to what most people believe, a lot of resellers are in cook groups together, and so we all kind of say, like, I remember the night before, and of course not every reseller is in one group, but there's several groups with several different resellers are part of that group. And I remember in the particular group I'm in, we're all kind of saying like, hey guys, let's keep this profitable. Let's stay here. Let's not let, you know what I'm saying? Let's not let no Mickeys brick the market, undercut the market. And that's exactly what's going to happen every time because of the whales. So once again, this particular whale has 10 grand, right? He got 123 LaBarbies. So instead of him saying, all right, I'm going to be stuck up at 200 with y'all or at 180 with y'all, I'm going to go 110, right? Because he's already done the math. Now, 110 allows you some more profit. So if you sold for 110, you're profiting $11 a Barbie, which sounds like it sucks, right? But when you do 110 times 123, that's $13,300 or $30, sorry. So this particular person said, I'm going to put up my 10 And if I can, sell all of these within, because they're going to fly off shelves because the rest of the market is at 180. If I can sell these all for 110, I'll make a quick 3 grand and get out y'all way. Leaving you who, hey, you might have saved up, you might have cut grass, cut a couple yards and saved you up $75. And you might have said, man, I'm going to resell. And then you said, hey, I see the LaBarbies are going to be profitable. I'm going to take the LaBarbie. I'm going to turn my $80 into $180 and then just keep on flipping from there. That's still possible. However, now you're going to have to wait because the fear of missing out crowd has already got a $110 LaBarbie. Then you got a crowd of people who said, I'm going to wait. I really want this doll, but I'm going to wait. They're going to wait. And so now that's who you're waiting on, right? You're waiting to see how the market stabilizes. Or you're like me and a lot of people that now, man, I might just, since it wasn't a major investment anyway, I only got like 5 of them. I'm going to wait to see what they do when he retires. Or if after he wins his 5th championship or whatever the case may be. So to sum up everything we talked about today, man, it's the whales, bro. The whales are killing the resale game, and they're not killing it because, honestly, because of them, it's alive and well. But I'm saying they're making it harder for somebody like me and you to get in and start profiting. So the only feasible way that I could see somebody like me or you literally rising from the bottom to the top, I think you got to start. I think what you have to do, you got to start getting the super limited stuff. That's the only way, right? Or there's another way too. There's not just one way. There's other ways too. But as far as like doing it quickly, right? Doing it quickly, being able to take this, and then take that. That's going to take a lot more work now because the whales are in the game. So let me know what y'all think about the whales. Let me know if you're a whale. And let me know how that all works out for you. So Rico gang, I love y'all. Let's get it.